Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Without Context podcast. I am your host, Sean. And before we get the show started this week, I wanted to add a little something into the beginning of the show because just to give you a little peel back behind the curtain, Brian and I recorded 2 episodes in a row as of last week. So we recorded this episode, then we recorded the episode after that due to just some scheduling issues on my end. And unfortunately, we got some bad news this week. We had heard that Hulk Hogan had been having some issues, some health issues, back and forth on whether he was doing well or not. And then all of a sudden, we got the news Hulk Hogan had passed away. It felt very weird for us to be doing a wrestling-related show and us to go possibly another month without discussing Hulk Hogan. I'm going to discuss it a little bit more with Brian once we record in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's been a strange week for the world of professional wrestling. I know he wasn't a wrestler, but Ozzy Osbourne also passed away, so that was a real bummer. And then Hulk Hogan passes away, and it was very strange for me because I had people coming out of the woodwork that I know don't watch wrestling religiously as I do, and they're going, "Hey, did you hear Hulk Hogan had passed?" And it just shows the kind of mark that Hulk Hogan had left on the industry. As Tony Schiavone said, he brought wrestling into the mainstream. He was in Rocky III. He had his movies like. He's like Stone Cold in the Rock. He was Stone Cold in the Rock before they were Stone Cold in the Rock. Like people that didn't watch professional wrestling knew who Hulk Hogan was. Say what you will about him as a human being. This is something I've tried to take to me later in my years. People that I look up to or people that I have looked up to in my childhood or people that I followed. Sometimes inevitably do things that are just sort of let you down or go against your sort of moral fabric. And unfortunately, at least for me, in my opinion, Hulk Hogan was one of those people. But you can't deny the things that he contributed to the wrestling business. Wrestling business wouldn't be anything what it is today if not for Hulk Hogan. So rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. We'll talk about this more with Brian and get his reaction to it, because even Brian reached out and Brian was like, "Hey, did you hear Hulk Hogan had passed?" And I'll explain sort of my experience of people coming to it. So again, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Prayers out to his family. For everybody out there listening in Pocket Slams, still remember to say your prayers and eat your vitamins. And let's start the show. Hello, everyone, and Wilson. Sorry, that again.
Wilson is with us in the building.
Wilson! Yeah, no. All right, let's try that. Wait, take 2. Hello. Take 3.
Take a beat. Take a beat, and then we can get started. Take a beat.
Yeah, thanks, director. Hello. And welcome to the Wrestling Without Context podcast. Join me, Sean, a lifelong wrestling fan, as I take my friend Brian,
that's me,
a complete unknown to the world of sports entertainment, on a thrilling journey into the world of professional wrestling. With no prior knowledge or context, Brian experiences the magic, drama, and unforgettable moments of wrestling for the first time. Join them as they guide him through the larger... God damn it.
Whoa. Join us as, God damn it, we watch some wrestling.
So for those of you at home, I'm not going to cut any of this out because this is just so, it makes me laugh. So I cut this out of our, the presentation I did for us at the beginning of the year. So it's still counting as if I'm talking in the third person. So I never fixed the last line of join them. So it just needs to get changed to join us. So I'm going to do it on this, and then I'll just copy and paste my notes from this week. All right,
there we go.
Hello. Hear the
hello clap. Again.
All right. So please join us as I guide. I got to change another pronoun now. Join us as I join us as
what is happening?
As I guide him. This I'll cut. Because this is just sad now. Maybe not. People need to know. They got to know.
People don't need to know.
No. No, if anybody that's ever worked with me, no, this is pretty on par with me. It's like I talk a big game, and then all of a sudden, it's like I'm stumbling out of the blocks. Again, it's the cheese rolling down the hill.
I would chase that cheese, though.
Yes, so join us as I guide him through the larger-than-life characters, jaw-dropping feats, and stories that make wrestling an unforgettable experience. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Without Context podcast. For those of you that have never seen or listened to our show before, the way this works is I show my friend, Mr. Flying Brian, over here.
That's me again.
Yeah, a wrestling match he has never seen before. Brian has never really watched wrestling before, and then I show him something wrestling adjacent. So a segment, a movie, a TV show, whatever tickles my fancy.
I know Flying Brian is like because I'm a pilot, but it also sounds like I'm an acrobat, and my parents got murdered, and now I fight with Batman.
Yeah, I know. You, Robin, Damian Wayne, and Flying Brian. What was it? Hopefully none of your friends get beat with a crowbar and you got to take over or something.
Oh gosh, no, yeah, hope not.
Yeah, no, yes. Oh man, Brian, what a week in professional wrestling.
What a week.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this before the show. You've been talking about Reddit clips.
They're invading my Reddit space, and I don't know who's wrestling. I watch it, and I don't remember who was in it.
So, yeah, good thing, because I was going to ask you, or not good thing, because I was going to ask you, what do you remember watching? Nothing.
Nothing.
It's like this. It's like Severance.
It's just there.
You have an innie and you have an outie. And I only know these references because Morgan's watching the show right now, and she's watching the second season.
Oh, are you not watching it?
No, I've never seen it. And I was just asking questions because it was there's like an inner personality or like an in and an out personality or whatever the hell it is. So that's you. Like anytime you get into this, you're wrestling. Anytime you leave the podcast, it's like you've never seen it before.
What's wrestling? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. So, I don't even. Oh no. So this is what I want to say. Reddit. The recommendeds on Reddit annoy me so much because I'll look something up on Reddit, like a question, and then it'll take me back to the app, and then it'll be like some random subreddit, and then it'll start giving me suggestions based on what subreddit I was in. Yep. And I'm like, no. So I have to be like, please stop showing me this and mute this. I never want to see any of this again. You can also find us on all forms of social media. So we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we're on Blue Sky. We also got a new TikTok. We are also on YouTube, where you can find the video form of this show. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment. And also, as we announced last time, we are now on Patreon. So for the low price of $1, you can now watch along with us as Brian watches the match and hear some of our Mystery Science Theater commentary. And also when we watch our segment. There also is going to be some new stuff. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. So no, what a week in professional wrestling. We had All In this past Saturday. On top of that, WWE had what did they have? They had Saturday night's main event. They had NXT Great American Bash. Then they had their Women's Evolution pay-per-view. And Brian, last week you asked me a question about how much wrestling I was going to be watching, like in a particular week. This might have been not necessarily the most matches or shows I've watched in a week, but it might have been the longest.
Is this abnormally, or are you just like clocking it now?
It is mostly because of one particular show. So for what I watched, I didn't watch this all in order. I had to break it up. So I started the first half of Ring of Honor show. Spoiler alert for this show. Supercard of Honor had their show this weekend. That show with their pre-show was 4 hours and 15 minutes, and I watched every single match on it.
Wait, is this a current thing?
No. So it's a reoccurring show. So spoiler alert for those of us that see the episode title. We watched the match we watched this week was from 2022 Supercard of Honor.
Ooh, okay.
So with pre-show, this was 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
And then the next day on Saturday, so I had a previous engagement. The show started at 2. I knew it started at 2, and I was like, okay, I'll do what I need to do throughout the day, and I'll come back and I'll watch the replay. I got home at 7. It was still in the main event.
Whoa.
Or it wasn't even. So I had to like constantly like wait. All In, as we found out, actually ended up being this past weekend. We kind of talked about it. I said it was going to be like a 5-6 hour show. It was almost a 6 hour show.
That's crazy.
It was so the main
How
show
many
was
matches? How many matches were in it?
all right. So yeah, we can talk. So I kind of want to talk about the Supercard of Honor. There was Blake Christian versus Jay Lethal, Frat House versus Dark Order, the Von Erichs versus Premier Athletes. Actually, I didn't write out every match for Ring of Honor. The big match from Ring of Honor was Takeshita versus Bandito. It was a fantastic match. I recommend going out and finding it. All In. Let's start the opening. So I did not watch the pre-show, which is like another 2 hours, but there was only 2 matches. It was a bunch of multi-man tags. So we had the this is all in the main card. It was the Ops versus the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd. It was the men's casino battle royale featuring MJF. Briscoe, Juice Robinson came back. Adam Cole then comes out and possibly announces a retirement. We don't know yet. He's dealing with a concussion. And then we have a 4-way dance for his vacant title with between Kyle Fletcher, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Danny Garcia. Then we go to the Young Bucks versus Ospreay and Swerve, which was my match of the weekend. It was one of my favorite.
I saw the Young Bucks. That was the thing I saw once.
What? Oh, yes, you have seen the Young Bucks. I thought you meant like this weekend. I was like, I thought you didn't remember.
No, not this weekend.
Yeah, no. So
that is a name that is in my brain of something that I have seen.
Yeah, so that was probably my favorite match of the weekend, that Young Bucks versus Ospreay Swerve. We then moved on to the women's casino battle royal. Fantastic. Athena comes out on top. And then we had our triple main event where it was 3 separate matches. We had Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm, which you've seen before.
Yeah.
You've seen Toni. We then had Omega versus Okada for the Unified Championship. Okada comes out on top. And then we had a Texas death match with Jon Moxley and Adam Page, which was crazy. There was forks. There was a bed of nails. No. People just bleed a lot.
Oh, okay.
People get stabbed. There were forks. It was a lot.
Yikes!
Yeah, I know.
Like really?
Yes, real forks. I'll send you the clip.
Nope, not ready for it. Not ready for that kind of wrestling yet.
Yeah, I know. There's like I said, I could have showed you a Sabu Terry Funk barbed wire match. I was like, Brian's not ready for this. he's a sweet Christian.
You sweet summer child. You can't handle it yet.
Quote the Obas, sweet Christian boy. You're not ready for. But your kids are going to love it. To quote. So no, that show. If you counted the. Whatchamacallit, because I think the pre-show started at noon. That show technically almost went 7-8 hours. That actually, this is now actually, according to a website, not a repeated website, but is the longest North American show that has ever been done.
Wow.
Going back to WrestleMania 35. Now, the good thing about All In is it started at 2, so you were at least done before 8 o'clock. WrestleMania 35 started at... Oh, God, it had to have been 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it was in New York. It went all the way to, I remember it because it was just such a long night. It went out all the way past midnight our time. So it's now past 1 o'clock in New York where the match is happening. It's like, oh my God. And then there's like horror stories of people having to leave the stadium. And it is just crazy. So that is just 10 hours of stuff that I watched, and then stuff I didn't write down, but stuff that I watched about an hour and a half at GCW show, The Boss of All Bosses. That's always an interesting show. Matt Cardona and Shotzi Blackheart. What else did I watch? I watched Dynamite's episode 300, which was prior to that. I watched some Ring of Honor. I watched Goldberg's retirement match for Saturday night's main event. So all in all, it was probably 14 hours in the past week of wrestling but that wasn't all at like one time. Like some of it I watched at the gyms. Sometimes and I didn't watch full shows because I put on Saturday night's main event and I went, I can't watch this whole damn thing. I am going to lose because everyone's been talking about the Goldberg Gunther match because it's Goldberg's last match. Brian doesn't know who Goldberg is, but I'm sure we'll watch.
I know. We watched something and Triple H was mad at somebody for being a Goldberg fan.
Oh yeah, so that's what you know about Goldberg. Thank you for remembering that. So Goldberg did not endear himself to anybody. He was not happy with his final retirement match, even though he's come and gone for the past 5 years, and kind of Leroy Jenkins his way, because he's just automatically in the title picture, and it's like, okay. And then he's older. He was never the best wrestler. Back in his prime, though, he was the shit. He was just basically a bulldozer. He would spear. He was a former football player. He'd spear you. He'd give you the jackhammer, which go with where you want, Brian, and then penny for the 1, 2, 3.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh boy. So that was my I was gonna say WrestleMania. It felt like a WrestleMania week talking about all this. So Brian, how was your week?
It felt like a WrestleMania week, where WrestleMania is a huge event that happens. Was this all in a huge event that happened, or is this just a big week of just normal stuff that you've watched?
So what happens is, so WWE does WrestleMania in April, and all the other companies, not like AEW, but like a lot of the smaller companies, like the independent promotions, will do stuff in the same city around the same time, so you can kind of like do shows. People are in town and stuff like that. All In, I guess, is now supposed to be kind of like their WrestleMania. Like, WrestleMania happens in April. AEW doesn't want to go head to head with them, even though WWE constantly wants to go head to head with AEW and keep scheduling shit. So this All In is like, it was the flagship show.
So it was a big week then.
Yeah, so they started all out, and then they decided they wanted to do Wembley Stadium in London a couple years ago, and that became the new All In.
Nice.
Issue I had with it is it was a week before All Out.
Okay.
So it was like two big shows, because All Out up until last year or maybe even this year has always been in Chicago. And it's just like, I feel like you're going to the well too many times with having big shows back to back to back to back like that. So yeah. So Brian, how was your week? What has Brian been doing other than looking at wrestling?
Let's see. What did I do this week? I saw Superman.
Did you like it?
I did. I had a really good time watching.
I feel like people are twisting themselves in knots to like be like, it was good, but like there's just like people just couldn't enjoy it. There was like something they had to say about it.
Nope, it was pure enjoyment in my mind. It was. Have you seen it? Do you want me to tell you?
No. The thing that's popping into my brain is people are comparing Henry. It's usually the Zack Snyder fans. Henry Cavill getting the sunlight back in his movie, where he's just like serene, and then it cuts to the beginning. I guess the beginning of this movie where he's getting the sunlight and he's screaming in terror.
I guess he's not. No. I mean, Henry Cavill is like sunbathing, and this guy has like a giant magnifying glass on him. So like you could be like, hey. There's a little difference, but that's okay. No. It was pure fun. I liked Man of Steel. I had my quips with Man of Steel. There were some things in it that I was like, I don't like that. But I really liked the old Superman, Henry Cavill. I really liked the new one, David Cornsweet. I think he's fantastic as well. So this is just a new iteration of Superman. And I love Superman, so I'll love any iteration of Superman.
I like Christopher Reeves. Man of Steel was what I like. I like Michael Shannon as Zod and stuff like that. It was just, I've never liked Zack Snyder. He has just never, never been like, he did Dawn of the Dead. And then there was another movie.
Army of the Dead was like a sequel to, or something for Netflix. He did Sucker Punch. He did 300.
That's what I was trying to think of. It was like, there's some movie where it's like, yes, but like he was just basically, it was like Sin City. You're just adapting the source material shot for shot. Still very good, but like he just had a vision.
It's just a different kind of superhero movie. This one feels more comic booky though. Like this is what I would say what a Superman comic book would feel like.
I loved his vision for Batman. I just didn't think the execute. It's always Zack Snyder has some good ideas. It's just the execution.
Yeah, for sure. But I had a really good time. I loved it. It was fun. I really liked that the movie didn't treat the audience as dumb. Because it just drops you into the world that's like been around for 30 years or so.
I'm trying to think of somewhere else that's done it where it's like you don't need to do another origin story. Just it's like James Bond. Yeah, just drop him in. Like we all know.
We all know who James Bond is. We all know who Superman is. We don't need another one of.
Yeah, so we don't need context. Like we've already had the context.
It was honestly the show. It was on CW and then it moved to HBO. It was Superman and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
They just pick it up as him as an established superhero. They just start the show there.
In the show or the movie?
In the show. And in the movie too. Like
Yeah,
both
I know.
of them. These are two
read
different worlds where like you just drop someone in and you're like, yeah, that's Superman. We all know who he
Yeah,
is.
I read what James Gunn did. He's like Lois and Superman are already an item. Like we're not doing the whole who is he? That's a clip I want to show you now. So we watched The Rock at SNL. He did a sketch on that show where he's Superman, but he's the worst Clark Kent. Like his Superman shot or his Superman suit is coming through his it is like coming through his sleeves too.
Amazing.
And they're like, hey, Clark, when are you going to get that article done? Oh, it should be done next. I should have it done next week. And Superman, what about? Oh, well, but wait a minute, I'm not. So very.
No, it was good. I had a student pass check ride. That was great. Really like that. That's a boop boop. Another one.
More hours in the air, brother.
And then I got Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's fantastic.
All right, so usually we have our chit chat at the end of the show. We're going to do it right now. So I did see Donkey Kong Bonanza. It came out.
It came out.
So I had not seen anything until you mentioned it. I had heard of it, and then looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is much different than what I thought it would be. Because I thought it was just going to be like another platformer, but now it's the same people that made Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. Yep.
Yeah, it looks exactly
very similar to Mario Odyssey in the fact of like you're collecting these bananas instead of moons or whatever.
Does he speak?
Donkey Kong? No.
Yeah, so I know he has a human character with him, but I couldn't tell from the clips I was watching if he was just grunting or just smashing everything in sight.
You can smash anything in sight. The whole world is destructible, and then you can just rebuild it.
So I did see that like there's portion of the game you can't do it, but basically if you're just messing around you can stumble into puzzles and just completely go around the puzzle itself and smash your way through if you know where it is. Basically I was like, oh, that's fun, like because they were like, oh, it's like Zelda, it's like they don't care how you get there just as long as you got there.
That's the thing. Like I said, like it's very similar to Mario Odyssey. It's the same team that made Mario Odyssey, but it's doing for Donkey Kong what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda in like the revitalization of the character and world, I think.
I remember when the Breath of the Wild came out, there's like the first place you're at, someone built the glider and they did something where they glided over the entire world and made it to the final boss in the castle, the center. And they got killed because they didn't have any life and no weapons and stuff like that. But it was like, oh, that's
but
actually...
you can do it. Yeah
exactly. It's not going to be... So...
but yeah, so that's what my past week has been. It's been a lot of fun.
So if I am not watching wrestling, I've been trying like hell to play Death Stranding 2. And Brian,
that's right, you
are so wrong about what this game is. Like, this game has just been a punch to the gonads as a father this whole time. And stuff. The first game was awesome in that how Kojima is he's brilliant. The way he uses language, the way he uses story and stuff like that. And you just kind of got to accept it and move along with it. There was a fantastic part where you end up in this Mexican city with all these fireworks going on. It's like one of the most visually breathtaking things I've ever seen in a video game.
Is this gonna be spoilers for anybody listening?
No, that was already in the trailer and stuff like that.
Cool.
What else? No,
I do hear it's kind of a father-kid story.
Yes.
Those are big right now in Hollywood, man. Those are big. You got
there's the thing. Everyone's getting older.
You got Obi-Wan Kenobi did the same thing. You got God of War.
It's a trope.
It is a trope.
Because like I think back to Lone Wolf and Cub, those fantastic movies. It gives you a little bit of a stake and stuff like that. My favorite is Kojima took a mechanic from God of War, or in God of War, have you played it, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he takes I can't remember the guy's name, but the dude with the head, and he puts him on his back. He sticks him on his, and the character talks to you. It explains the world, and then the second game is fantastic. Someone's coming behind you. He just goes like, "Behind you, brother," and you know how to duck.
I did hear about this. This is like a doll.
Oh my god, it's so awesome!
But like he moves at a different frame rate than the rest of the game. I think that's just brilliant.
So there's another mechanic where you can throw. The idea is that I think it's called a ha and a ka. Your ha is like your physical form. Your ka is your soul.
Oh, like Egyptian.
yeah, this doll's car somehow got stuck inside the
Okay.
doll, so now he's just there.
Amazing.
So you can throw him a certain distance and he can scout ahead for you and like do the
Okay.
marking thing like you could do in Far Cry. But there's a dance sequence I won't spoil that was
Amazing.
like, give me a dance sequence in any game. I got it in Control, I got it in Alan Wake 2, and now I got it in this.
It's in Final Fantasy Remake. They have a
Yeah.
dance sequence. It's so good.
This game, and I am playing it on an easier mode, so it's not as frustrating to go through some of the battles or go through. But
hey, man, we're getting older. We don't have time to just pound our head against a wall anymore.
So there is
just a story, please.
Yeah, so there is a story mode. I did not pick that. I picked the normal mode.
There you go. Good. Okay.
Or an easy. It was like a story, easy, medium, hard, or something like that. So I picked the easy mode. But we were talking about, you were like, man, it's just moving things back and forth. I'm going to tell you what I did. So there was this base that I had to go get, and there was whatchamacallit? Oh God. I basically that's another mechanic too that I guess they introduced in this game. So you can't kill anybody, or else it could do what they call the void out. Basically,
Okay.
it becomes a thing later in the game. So I don't do that. They give you like a gun with that does a bolo, so it like wraps them up, and then I go and I just Superman punch them. They're down. So I get everyone out, and then I notice that there's a whole bunch of materials that I would need. I was like, oh my God, there's like all these metals and ceramics and stuff like that.
I gotta go carry them back to my base.
So no, this is what I did. There's a truck inside the base that you can load up. So I ran around, put it on my back, loaded it in the truck, and then took the truck out of the base and just drove it back to my base. That was me for 30 minutes.
30 minutes! You spent 30 minutes moving material.
I know. I'm a truck driver, man. It's there's enough. They've added music and stuff like that, so you can create like a playlist and stuff like that.
Nice.
But like the thing that they changed from this game is that they added vehicles so much sooner than they did in the last game. It took forever. And then people leave shit everywhere. So like people leave vehicles in their game. You can pick them up in yours, depending on how the system works and stuff like that. So ladies and gentlemen, Death Stranding 2, holy crap. I'm barely through any of it. And
so if you bounce off the first one, just watch the video summary and get into Death Stranding 2.
Exactly. I recommend playing both. They're both awesome. The thing that annoys the shit out of me in this one is water levels. Because you'll be walking through something, and then all of a sudden it'll be like a low water level, and it's like it starts raining, and then it'll be like, oh, the water level's rising, and all of a sudden you'll just see this big wave coming towards you, and it's like, I gotta get out of here.
Hatred of the water level started in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, man. The water temple.
Yeah, give me those boots, man. Dunk, 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 dunk. I did see there was a joke. There's a new Zelda series coming out. It was like there's going to be a 40-minute episode dedicating to making ice blocks into a platform. Like, hey, touche.
I'm all for the movie that they're making as long as Link doesn't talk. Just make him a silent protagonist the whole movie. Well, thank you for joining us for our video game podcast. And
I know. 25 minutes.
On to our B segment, wrestling.
All right, so now on to our wrestling for the show. Our match for the day, we watched FTR Briscoes match number 1 in a trilogy of matches. I was originally going to show Brian match number 2.
Trilogy.
But yeah, so this turns into an Iron Man match where you got to win. Or no, not an Iron Man. It's 2 out of 3 falls.
Tony Stark comes in?
Yeah.
Blast you.
Yeah, exactly. And then it turns into a tag team dog collar match where you're attached to the other guy with on a dog collar.
You're attached to your teammate, or you're attached to the other guy?
The other guy.
Holy moly!
So normally a dog collar match happens between 2 people, and it's like if you and I, it would be like we get a strap around our neck. It's not like really tight or something like that. It's a little loose, and then there's a big long chain, and then
it's more for dominance than anything, right? That's what the collar is
exactly.
for.
Well, you do get people being choked out during it. So for that match, it was I'm pretty sure it was Mark Mark Briscoe versus Attached to Cash, and Dax versus Jay. So, but they're not, so they can sort of move all over and stuff like that. But like I said, I wanted to show.
You're gonna have to tell me who is who.
We'll get to it, Brian.
Okay.
So the idea was I wanted to show Brian a tag team match without any sort of quote unquote gimmicks in it, so he wasn't completely confused about what a tag team match was. And
I got it. It was nice and simple.
So this particular show had happened on April 1st, April Fool's Day in 2022 in Garland, Texas, which is...
This was an April Fool's Day. Oh, yeah. What a match it would have been if they carded it as a tag team match and then just two people showed up.
Yes. So speaking of the people that showed up, this is ROH's first show since things were getting reopened for COVID.
Oh, okay.
So just a little context for you, Bonner, about what Ring of Honor went through. So COVID happens, and they cannot run any because they're run city to city. They can't. You obviously can't travel. Traveling is hard and stuff like that. They try running shows without an audience. It doesn't work. They're losing money. So eventually, they just release everyone out of their contract and say we're going to refigure this out. To which the owner of AEW in March of 2022, so about a month before the show, comes in and says, "I bought Ring of Honor." So,
oh dang!
So this is technically an AEW adjacent show now, and Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor's under the AEW umbrella now.
Yeah, so they treat them as two separate brands, but they do commingle, basically. So yes, this was the first Tony Khan run show, but we did see at the end of the match Kerry Silkin, who was sort of the figurehead of the Sinclair broadcast group, who had owned Ring of Honor prior to it. And this was also, it wasn't the main event, but this was also this was the longest match of the night at 27 minutes and 25 seconds. So Brian, what were your initial thoughts on your first tag team match?
It was cool. I had to wrap my head around what tag team meant, because like you tag somebody, but then you got time in the ring with that person, and then they had to get out of it. So like I was a little confused at first at being like, okay, what's the point of this? But it started to work itself out.
And again, for those of you, please subscribe to our Patreon. You can go back and watch the match with me and Brian as he asks all these questions. I try to explain to him in as little detail as possible as to not take away content from the show. But let's talk about some of those tag team rules. So it's obviously 2-on-2. You can have a 3-on-3, 4-on-4. There is something that's very particular to a tag team match. I want to know if you noticed it. Did you notice anybody holding onto a rope in their corner, perspective corner? It was very tiny.
The person out of the ring was always holding the rope.
Yes, so that is called the tag team rope, and it is sometimes heavily, especially FTR, who are known as tag team purists, holding onto that rope. So like when you're out of the ring, you got to hold onto that rope, and so like you asked later on in the match, like, hey, could that guy go over to the other side? Like, no, you have to tag someone in your corner.
A strategy is to like get somebody in an opposite corner, and then they can't get a tag out of it.
They call it cutting off the ring, and they mention it for both teams. They're like, "Oh, the Briscoes are so good at cutting off the team. They might be the best."
Yeah, because he slid around and cut him off from.
That was FTR. That was Cash doing. So you asked who these people were.
So is Cash the mustache man?
No, Cash is not the mustache man. So let's talk about FTR. So FTR. Yeah, FTR.
FTR wheeling in versus the Democrats.
They were a former WWE tag team that got out of their contract. They were known as the Revival.
Revival. Okay.
So it was like tag team Revival. It's like they were sort of an old school Midnight Express, the Rockers, old school Southern wrestling.
Hold up. TR, the Revival, is the other one for F the Revival?
Oh, wow, Brian, you jumped ahead. We'll get to it, Brian.
Is that it? Did I get it?
Yes.
Yeah! Look at me! I'm doing things! I get wrestling!
Well, you're spoiling the bit, Brian.
No, how is it spoiling?
Because I was going to reveal it to you, and you were going to be like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that."
I'm so smart, though. This is better.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make me look like a fool. So they're in the WWE, and they're calling themselves the best tag team in the world. And so the Young Bucks, who are in ROH, eventually come in AEW, are running a considering themselves one of the best tag teams in the world, and they're also running. We're going to get to how they get called this in a second. They're on a YouTube show that they call themselves called Being the Elite, because they were calling themselves the Elite at the time, the Young Bucks. And so there's another wrestler in there, and they're just doing a bit backstage, and they're like, "Hey, so and so, what do you think of the Revival?" And the guy just turns and out of nowhere goes, "Fuck the Revival."
Amazing.
So it eventually started getting chanted at shows, and it becomes a bit. And so the Revival leave the WWE, and eventually they make their way to AEW, where they are now known as FTR. So they kind of embrace.
I love it. That's
they embrace the bit.
That's so good.
Yeah. They call themselves For the Revival, but everyone's like, no, it stands for Fuck the Revival.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And they are facing a brother tag team of Mark and Jay Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers.
The Briscoe brothers.
Yes, who Brian was very scared of when he first saw them.
They looked like meth heads, man.
Yeah, so Jay has very long dreadlocks, is the older brother of the team, and has a beard. They both have beards. And then Mark has a shaved head.
He has a longer beard, though.
But is also missing his front teeth.
Yeah.
Which happened in a wrestling match, Brian.
Oh, he got him knocked out?
Yeah, his brother knocked him out unintentionally.
Okay.
So the story is Jay comes up for a chair shot, and he sort of takes the chair in a weird angle, and Mark... Either he didn't realize Mark was behind him, or Mark didn't realize what was about to happen. And he's like, it was perfect. He's like, I turned, and the second he brought that chair up, he clipped 2 teeth out. And he's like, and if you take the thin side of the chair, he's like, it fits perfectly up there.
Oh,
it's
my
like, it was
gosh.
So, but he definitely uses it to his advantage to make him look definitely more crazy than he already does.
And he's got them crazy eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got them boys.
Boys.
I thought you were going to start. They were known as the Briscoes, but you kept referring to them as Dem Boys. Dem Boys versus FTR.
That's right.
As Brian made some very clever Democratic jokes in our Patreon. So it's like, man, them
Dems.
Yeah,
Dems. We own them. We own them Dems today.
Yeah, the Democrats need Dem Boys.
I don't think they need Dem Boys.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, that's the conversation the Democrats have. It's like, how do we get the young male population? How do we get
Dem Boys?
Yeah, I know. Let's get Dem Boys. So the match starts off, and
but
Brian.
Can we be honest? They said they were from Delaware. Dem boys don't look like they're from Delaware.
Yeah, so when you see them, you don't. So we could talk a little bit about the Briscoes. So the Briscoes are brothers. Jay was on the original ROH show that we watched by himself. He was a young, like 18. I think he was 18 at the time and stuff like that. His brother may have accompanied him to the ring. Jay was with ROH from the beginning, never left. He eventually brings in his brother, who they lie about his age. Because I think it was in Jersey, the commission, you couldn't be under a certain age. And I think Mark was 16 at the time. So 16, 17 or something like that. And so Jay's only a year older. They are actually chicken farmers.
They're chicken farmers. That's why they were called the something chicken.
That's why Mark Mark is referred to lovingly as his brother as Chicken, and then as I'll talk about later, his family also calls him Chicken.
Okay,
because he's just fucking crazy.
Man.
So no, like there's bits I'll send them to you of them. They talk about like growing up on the chicken farm and stuff like that, of like them having to go through the barn and find all the dead chicks and pick them out because you can't have them spoiling the group basically and stuff like that. So like that is them. But when you see them and you hear them, you do not think Delaware.
No.
Like
I said, I was thinking Florida man.
Exactly. Like you think like, oh, Tennessee or Alabama or something like that, because they use the term, used in a loving way, redneck, especially Mark Briscoe and his redneck kung fu.
Redneck kung fu.
Yeah. But when you see it, it's like, oh, they're from Delaware. The Wayne's World joke is like, oh, we're in Delaware.
That's why they're Dem Boys.
Yes, Dem Boys. So no, the Briscoes are fantastic. They cut great promos and stuff like that. One of my favorites is Terry Funk didn't wear no mouthpiece. As Jay is talking, it's a a promo where they're in a barn. They're talking about it. Mark is in the
Talking
background.
about chickens, right?
Well, they got a bunch of hay around him too. Mark is drinking from a bottle of Jim Beam or Jack Daniels, something like that. Jay is in the front and he's talking about, I think forgot who he's talking about, Josh Woods or Kyle O'Reilly. He's talking about Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle O'Reilly wears a mouthpiece and he's like, man, that ain't tough, man. Terry Funk didn't wear no mouthpiece. So the best part of the bit is Mark is like kind of paying attention, kind of coming in and out. He takes the bottle, he puts it in the haystack, and you just see him walk away with a shotgun. And then off camera, he shoots the bottle. So you just hear a gunshot go off.
Oh,
and
man.
he's like, what the? And Jay looks at him like, what the fuck, man? He's like, oh, sorry, man. And then he just unloads the shotgun and puts it back in the truck that they're in. So it's like, there's always some good bits. I'll send them to you. But no, I love the Briscoes. They're very entertaining. And unfortunately, some kind of don't get the recognition they deserve for very specific circumstances, which we'll talk about at the end, because I don't want Brian to end this on a downer.
Oh, no.
So the match starts, and Brian, do you remember the Code of Honor at all? What we talked about?
They have to shake hands.
Yeah, so part of the Code of Honor is they have to shake hands. And did FTR shake hands with the Briscoes?
No, they didn't.
Yes, exactly. So let you know right away who was supposed to be the heels in the match.
The FTR were the heels of the match.
Yeah, so this match, we talk about it like with WrestleMania 3. Like, this match didn't really slow down all that much. They are just going at it. There's a lot of wrestling moves in the beginning, and I love the way Jay and Mark move. It is so quick, and they've been you read about them, like they had been wrestling each other on trampolines since they were kids and stuff like that. There was a fantastic athletic Players Tribune piece that did a 30-minute expose, sort of behind the scenes documentary on them that they just released this past week. That was a tearjerker for a very specific reason, where it just showed all the footage of Jay and Mark wrestling each other.
Has one of them died?
We'll talk about it, Brian.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
I can't make fun of them now.
No, you can don't make fun of them, Brian. Just don't do it in a bad way. So
yeah, I'll make respectable fun.
Yeah, respectable. So Mark, Dax, and so let's talk about FTR, because you were like, who's who? It is Dax, DAX space Har. There's no D, not Hardwood. Harwood. Although Dax Harwood, if he was a Dax Hardwood, you would think he was a porn star with that mustache.
With that mustache, yes.
Yeah. So Dax Harwood is
Dude knows his way around a double team.
Yes. Or a tag team.
A tag team. Yes.
Yeah. So he's the shaved head one. He's sort of we have
Dax Stash. He's got the stash.
They call him Dax the Axe, Dax the Stash.
All right.
He's like the Arn Anderson of the Four Horsemen. So back in the day, the 70s. And
do I know who Arn Horseman is?
No, Arn Horseman. No, you do not. Not yet. I'm sure we'll see Arn at some point. And then there is the mullet guy, which is Cash Wheeler.
Wheeler, okay.
Yeah, so Dax and Cash, they were billing him as Wheeler and Harwood at this point. I don't know why. They're now known as Dax and Cash and stuff like that, and they do use, but they're like a throwback team, like we kind of talked about. They're a Midnight
purists,
Express,
you said, right?
Exactly. Like they're very technical with their tag team wrestling, because unfortunately tag team wrestling is not, especially in the WWE, is not treated as sort of the main event that it should be. It's sort of almost like a side piece and stuff like that. And there's always the insinuation that why pay 4 people for one match when I can pay 2 people in one match?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that's sort of the mentality. It's not the mentality anymore. And then especially with WWE now, they do not, I don't think they book their tag teams very well. AEW does a much better job. ROH does a good job and stuff like that. But this is sort of like a callback to like those good 70s and 80s Southern tag team wrestling, where it was very much more prominent.
Okay.
So yeah, we get that sort of back and forth with them. There's a lot of wrestling moves, and the commentators talk about it a lot, where they don't want to be getting it.
And like both teams, the commentators were like, they're like punching teams. Like both teams are like throwing punches is like how they should be, and they were restrained at the beginning. Yeah.
So there's a good bit, not from this match. FTR faces the Young Bucks, and the sort of bit was that the quotation that FTR was using was fists, not flips.
Okay.
So they're like, we're more ground and pound, and you guys are jumping all over the place and stuff like that. And so they have a match with the Young
Ground
Bucks for
and
the tag.
pound again. These verbiages, you know.
this tag team ground and pound.
Oh no!
So the Young Bucks are facing FTR, and FTR just cannot get the match over with. They can't beat the Young Bucks, and so what does one of them do? He goes to the top rope, which they never do, and they mess it up and lose the match. So it's like, oh, the one thing they said they didn't want to do, they had to do, and it lost them the match. So I was like, oh, that's actually very clever and stuff like that. But yeah, like eventually it just people get thrown out of the ring.
Yeah. It became like to be fair, like sure that maybe they're ground and pound, but it became kind of flippy. They were kind of flipping.
Yeah, so and I think that's the story of the matches. They try and do like, all right, we're gonna do this nice tag team wrestling, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go after each other.
I just want to win.
Because like I said, like FTR like was talking a lot of shit, especially when it came to the Briscoes, and so FTR. This is also when FTR kind of first starts, and they have like a list of tag teams they want to face and stuff like that. And so the Briscoes are on that list. People are like, no, the Briscoes are better. No, FTR is better. And so like you saw it at the beginning of the match, there's like a holy shit chant before they even touch one another. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe we're getting to see this match. Cause this is also like,
so this was a really, really big deal.
Yes, exactly. So, I watched this live when it happened. Like this was my favorite match of the night, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And then like everything after this is just awesome. Like the two prior that it's now to the point that ROH posted the full trilogy on their YouTube. So like the first, second, and third match, it's like an hour and a half of just fantastic wrestling.
Okay,
but no, so like, and the commentators kind of draw back to it. They're like, "Oh, we thought it was going to be this," and like. And then all of a sudden it just devolved. Everyone goes to the floor. It devolves on the floor. People start chopping one another. And like the commentator's like, oh my God, this is what the fans actually wanted. They just wanted them to kick the crap out of one another just to prove who's the best. And then Dax gets the upper hand and him and Cash throw Jay in. They grab his legs and flip him into a table, and Jay busts himself open.
Yeah.
To which Brian was a little flummoxed by going, I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like, Brian, there's metal under there. I know we like seeing people go through the table, but he went up into the table.
It's like, he's already under the table. What are they doing?
Yeah, I know.
You need to throw him on top of the table. This is backwards.
Yeah, I know. So that was great. We talked about it in the
This
wash.
was revolutionary to tables everywhere. You can beat someone with the underside of a table.
I would like that conversation as we're walking around the ring trying to figure out what they want to do. It's like, hey, I'm sure they had to have seen it somewhere. It's like, hey,
no. It was like, there's a table over there, and they're like, okay, and we're going to use a table. And someone's like, wait, what if we use the underside of the table? What if we pick him up through the table instead of throwing him down onto the table? And everyone's like, whoa!
Yeah. My favorite was one of the commentators, Caprice Coleman, going, they got the joints!
They got the joints!
Yeah, I know. It's like he's getting high under that table. So Jay we get our first bit of blood in this match.
And it bled everywhere.
Yeah, that was a good cut that he got under that match. He eventually gets hung upside down and ends up bleeding all over the match and stuff like that. So let's talk about a little bit of something. They did what they call you were calling out the tit slap.
Yeah, they were slapping each other's boobies.
Yeah, no, the knife edge chop. So that's a Ric Flair thing where it's supposed to harden up your chest and stuff like that, drive the air out. But it sounds phenomenal when you get it.
It does sound good.
Yeah. So, and then. Let's talk a little bit about Redneck Kung Fu. We need to talk about Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is one of my favorite wrestlers right now.
Okay.
So he's got those crazy eyes. He sort of dumbed it out a little bit.
He's got those crazy eyes.
Yeah, like he knows how to emote with his eyes and tell so many different stories other than he's crazy and stuff like that. He's missing those two front teeth. But what I love is the sounds he makes during the match where he's like, what? He does a bit when he comes out where he chomps at the camera as he's coming out. It's like, we're gonna it's just like, oh, it's just crazy. Like everything about Mark Briscoe. He's definitely just the younger brother. They call him the Sussex County Chicken.
That's what it was, Sussex County Chicken. That was it.
Yeah, so that's his brother, and then as you find out, his parents call him Chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Mark is just fantastic, and Jay is he's got that wonderful voice. We didn't get a chance watching the promos, but like he's so on top of it, and he sounds so badass when he speaks that it's just like they're the perfect combination of a brothers tag team.
Nice.
So they kind of go all over the place, and eventually everyone ends up in
time out. Brothers tag team. How many actual brothers tag teams are there in wrestling? Because it seems like it's pretty common. It seems like, or they try to pair them as brothers.
Yeah. So the big ones are the Hardy Boys, which we've watched. The Young Bucks, who you've seen. I'm trying to think of
the Young Bucks are actual brothers too.
Yes. What else? The Briscoes. I'm trying to think if there's any. Let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
Brother tag teams.
Welcome to the segment we like to call "The Internet Knows Everything."
Harlem Heat. I don't know if I think they were actual. I don't know if they were actual brothers. Stevie Ray and Booker T. There was the Bashams, who were a twin tag team from the early 2004 10 most successful brother tag teams. Here we go.
So there's at least 10.
Yeah. So Goldust and Cody Rhodes. What else? Who else? The Colognes, who their dad. So there's at least 10. The Usos right now, who I'm sure we'll spoiler alert, we may see them next week. The Harris brothers, who are just these big glutes. The Briscoe brothers.
Okay.
They are just tall.
They got big butts, is what we're saying. They got giant glutes.
I don't even know. Galoot.
Oh, glutes. Oh, big glutes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Briscoes are on this list. Sorry, it's making me go, oh, there's another Briscoe tag team. It's spelled differently. There's Jerry and Jack.
They're trying to get in on that Briscoe action.
Yeah, it's a fantastic last name. I love that name. Lenny Briscoe from Law and Order. What's his nuts? There's Wild Samoans are another tag team. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm trying to create content, Brian. Harlem Heat. So everything. I'm gonna hold on a second. Okay, maybe they were. I don't think they're supposed to be brothers. Oh God. Listen to this, man. So this is off of whatculture.com. So Harlem Heat, who are they're a black tag team. When they arrived in WC, they were originally supposed to be portrayed as a couple of slaves, won by Colonel Robert Parker in a card game.
Oh no!
I had no idea.
No!
They were.
What's wrong with this? Come on!
So they were even supposed. So I guess this doesn't happen. So because you would have seen this at some point. So they were even supposed to come out in shackles, but this was wisely abandoned when everyone realized how completely effing insane it was.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. So Harlem Heat, Booker T.
What year was that too?
Probably 1992. That's
awful.
It's WCW, man. Oh, the Steiner brothers, man. I can't believe I missed all these. Rick and Scott, and then of course.
So there's a lot of brother teams out there.
Those are like the biggest ones. Those are definitely the biggest ones that I've.
Are there any sisters? Do you have any sisters that are?
So, women's tag team wrestling, it's become more mainstream in the past. Mm-hmm. I'd say five years, to the point where like WWE now has the women's tag team titles. AEW seems to be moving towards that. Women's wrestling doesn't really get its due justice and doesn't get its proper time on the card and stuff like that. So it's like usually you get a couple singles matches and maybe a tag team match, but it's never like a faction of women together in their particular. So those were the brother tag teams. We could get to the end of the match. I know you didn't have any sort of reference to it, but they start hitting each other's finishers. So or
What
at
do you
least
mean they started hitting each other? Like they started doing each other's finishers? Like FTR did a
they
Dem
tag team.
Boys?
Yeah. So actually thinking about it, FTR never hit Redneck Boogie on.
Redneck Boogie, yes.
Yeah. So Redneck
Yes,
Boogie,
the
for those of you
electric
at home,
slide.
is where Jay gets
Boogie Woogie
the other
Woogie.
opponent up in a crucifix powerbomb. For all you Christians out there, holding them up.
Man, what names? These are like how you name your move is so badass. This is my crucifix power bomb that I'm calling the Redneck Boogie.
Yeah, so Jay gets him up by his arms, throws him forward over his head, and Mark comes up from behind and goes for a neck breaker, drops him down, and that's the Redneck Boogie. We also got to see. I had some technical difficulties on my end in that I hit a button and couldn't hear what Brian was saying. But
don't worry, I was still talking.
Yeah, so I'm sure I'll hear it. Maybe I'm sure I'll hear it when I go back and edit it. But we also got to see Mark hit his finisher called the Froggy Bow.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite finishers, where he sort of does like it's called a frog splash, where you sort of like tuck your elbows in and then you open back up when you splash. He just tucks his elbows, but then hits that elbow. So one of my favorite elbows in the business. But then they hit.
They also did a leapfrog move where he jumped over one of the FTR. He leapfrogged him, and then he like jumped onto the other guy's shoulders.
You might be thinking might have been big. I'm not exactly sure. Sorry, that might have been during the technical difficulties.
Okay.
So sorry, Brian.
Or I just made it up, everybody. Here's my new move. Leapfrog shoulder jump. That's what I'm calling it.
Well, the FTR has a finisher called Big Rig. It is now called Big Rig because there is a wrestler who has passed away named Brody Lee, also known as Luke Harper, and his sort of nickname was Big Rig. So Luke Harper has passed away at this point, and they renamed their finisher as Big Rig. But it's originally called Shatter Machine, which is badass.
I mean, that's pretty good. Shatter Machine.
Yeah, so one of the Cash brings up, or I think it's Dax, someone grabs the other person by the knees, hoists him up, falls backwards with them, and the other person drives their knees into the person's.
Oh gosh, that looked so painful.
Yeah, so
was that the finishing move too?
Yes. So the Briscoes try and hit it on FTR. Dax kicks out of it, and then one of my favorite. I had never noticed this. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention hard enough. So it becomes a point right before the match is about to end where everyone's on the outside, everyone gets knocked out. Briscoes make it back in the ring. Dax has Jay suplexes Dax all the way outside the ring, so Dax is all messed up. And they're making sure, Dax, are you okay? And Cash spoons with Dax for a second.
He does. He spoons. You got to have that.
And they're like talking to each other. Like, so Cash hoists Cash hoists Dax back into the ring, and in order to get
like props him up with his own body.
I noticed like Cash puts his head underneath Dax's armpit and like literally helps lift him all the way back up to the point where Dax, and I was like, oh, that's actually very smart, just to sort of get, because you'll see this sometimes, they call it selling, where it's like, oh, you took this big move but you're still running around and like it's like almost nothing ever happened. It's like, no, he took a very big move.
Sold the pain.
Yeah, exactly. I sold that pain. Sell that pain, brother. So eventually, I forgot what they're going for. They're going for some move, but Mark ends up on the back on a turnbuckle and then ends up flipping onto Cash. Cash somehow gets back up and throws Mark out, and then they get back in the ring, and Dax out of nowhere hits Shatter Machine on Jay, and we get the 1, 2, 3 out of this match, and FTR becomes the Ring of Honor champions. Ring of Honor takes.
And that was that a big deal because like they were disrespectful at the beginning and everything?
Yeah, so and that was sort of the thing. Like they came in, like the Briscoes are like, no, like Briscoes have been the mainstay since the beginning. They're like I think they eventually they were 12-time tag team champions. They eventually become 13-time in Ring of Honor, and they've been wrestling in Ring of Honor since 2002. So like I said, they never really left. For very specific reasons, some good, some bad. But no, so like FTR, and this is also the start of FTR's run where they're just sort of going all over the place. So right now they are the AAA tag team. back then they were the AAA Tag Team Champions, which is a Mexico promotion. They become the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and then they eventually become the New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag. So they eventually start coming out with 3 belts.
Wow.
So yeah, so they eventually lose all the belts and stuff like that, and they eventually become AEW Tag Team Champions. Their prior SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Champions, NXT, WWE Champions. So
they've won the championships pretty much everywhere.
Yes, exactly. They're considered one of the top tag teams in the world right now. I enjoy them. Some people don't. They're a little up their own. No, I won't say that. They're just sometimes I feel like it could be pretentious. Like, this is how wrestling is supposed to be. I'm like, no, wrestling is a buffet. It could be for anything. Like, it doesn't. If everyone looked like FTR, it wouldn't be fun, because that's also what makes them awesome. Is they're sort of the throwback, because now everyone's doing the flip stuff, and now they're the ones doing the
grounded pound. You can say it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. So we can start to talk about the legacy of this match. So like I said, this eventually becomes a trilogy of matches where it becomes a 2 out of 3 falls match, where I think they tie. It becomes like a fall. Briscoes win 1, FTR wins 1, and then it becomes a draw, I think, at the end or something like that. And they're like, no, we gotta run this back. So they do the dog collar match, and then that's when the Briscoes eventually do win their tag team championships back. Briscoes are, like I said, are considered one of the best tag teams that they don't really talk about. But part of that is, one, they sort of lean into the redneck gimmick a little too much sometimes. Like, they wore Confederate flags on their trunks for a period of time. And then Jay, unfortunately, goes too far into the gimmick, according to himself, and says some very homophobic things on Twitter.
Oh, dang.
Especially when because they were just passing gay marriage in like 2011 or something like that. And eventually Jay comes out and is like, this was me in character, that, like, my redneck character, I don't actually think these things. And everyone sort of forgives him, and it's like, no, Jay's actually a very great person and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it sort of follows. It applies to Mark, and it follows them, and WWE never really picks up on them because of the remarks. It comes to the point where AEW starts up, and the Briscoes, who've been with the Young Bucks fighting back and forth for ages, TNT says, no, we don't want them on the show. So they are sort of relegated to ROH. Even though, again, like, they had sort of been forgiven by the community. And then unfortunately in 2023, in January of 2023, Jay is driving his 2 daughters to dance practice, and someone crosses a median and hits them head on. One daughter breaks her back. The other daughter breaks just, according to her, bone out of the leg. They're both very young. They're like 10, 12 or something like that, but Jay does not make it. And people are just shattered by this. Like, it was just like this like crazy thing. But fortunately, TNT, in their wisdom, releases the hold on Mark. And so they're like, all right, so they put Mark back on TV, and now Mark's like one of the best things about AEW. And his, but it's always like very sad and stuff like that, because like when Mark was first coming out, he came out with both tag team belts.
Okay.
Like he was with his brother and stuff like that. And then, like I said, like that documentary they did where they talk about Jay and they talk about the families and how close everybody is just, it's such a tearjerker. And Jay, unfortunately, Jay Briscoe, fantastic Ring of Honor wrestler, gets his just due inside the community, but doesn't really, they're becoming more well-known now and stuff like that, especially because of Mark. But, so yeah, no, that is FTR versus the Briscoes. Any final thoughts before we move on?
Does he still go by his redneck shtick for?
Yes, yeah. So he does. I always want to buy a T-shirt. I just don't like the connotation it has, because he does have. There's a T-shirt he has where it's a very stern-looking chicken, and it says redneck kung fu on it. So he sort of leans into it. So, like I said, it's a term of endearment to them. It's not necessarily supposed to be. He's not stupid by any. My favorite thing, he's like, he started doing this bit called, it's like, word of the day is, and he has this very long enunciated word.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's very funny. Oh no, so let me talk about this story. So I actually sort of met the Briscoes in person.
Oh, okay.
So I went to a Ring of Honor show with Morgan, who's my girlfriend, and it was a New Japan joint show. They had a signing beforehand, so I went up. It was separate from the ring. I went upstairs, and it was like a U-shaped of tables, basically like corner to corner. It goes around, and I wanted to go see Jeff Cobb because I love Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's my dude. But the Briscoes, who had been there for forever, so everyone's gotten in order to get into this room, you had to pay like a set fee, like $50 just to get in, and then another like 25 to get an autograph or a photo or something like that. So like I only had so much money on me. I wanted to see Jeff Cobb. I wasn't the biggest Briscoe brother fan at the time. I didn't hate them. I just didn't really know them all that well. So. Sure. Jeff Cobb is at one table, and right next to him are the Briscoes, who have nobody at their table. Everyone else is sort of busy, but they're just kind of. And then I'm wearing a Jeff Cobb shirt, and me and Jeff are talking, and I just feel them staring at me the whole time, and it just feels like, hey man, why don't you want our autograph?
Sure, yeah.
Like it was the most intimidating thing, and then I was like, man, these motherfuckers really are crazy, because it was like my head is down, but my eyes are up looking into you. Uh-huh. And like, as we talked about, like Mark has those crazy eyes. Jay can be very intimidating and stuff like that. So that is my, and eventually I come to find out they're actually very awesome people. And I would have loved to have talked to them. And it's not one of my biggest regrets, but like definitely a wrestling regret of like, man, I really wish I would have taken the time to come and talk to him and stuff like that. And
sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll finish up for FTR and the Briscoes, and we'll move on to our wrestling segment.
All right.
So our wrestling segment was the Barbershop Window incident. This took place on Wrestle Challenge in WWF in January 11th in 1992. This is Brutus the Barber Beefcake little sort of segment. These were very big at the time, so we had places for The Undertaker called the Funeral Parlor, Jake the Snake at the Snake Pit, Roddy Piper, I forgot what his was called, the Piper's Pit, that's what it was called, where it was like you didn't have an announcer, you had a wrestler, but they were sort of interviewing other people and stuff, and usually something would happen. So
these are all like little shows on WWF Network or anything, promo stuff.
So this happened within like a wrestling show. So Wrestle Challenge is like a weekly show that they would put on, and it's pre-taped and stuff like that. They occasionally do stuff like live on Saturdays, main event and stuff like that. But this was like a way to sort of break up the show. So out comes Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who you had never seen before.
Never.
Looks like he could use a barber. He screams.
That was mullet. That was pure mullet. Like the longest back mullet I've ever seen, with the shortest front hair too.
Yeah, so this is 1992, and you would think it was still 1984 with how bad that mullet was.
I asked if it was the 80s.
Yeah, so Brutus the Barber Beefcake's gimmick is that he comes out and his tights are usually all torn because he's a barber and he cuts and stuff like that, which is why he has like all the cuts down his leg, which I always thought was a little odd. You could like
barbers aren't supposed to be cutting that far down.
Yeah, I know. Little dangerous, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Dangerous.
Yeah, so he's also a good friend of, he's a lifting buddy of Hulk Hogan, so he sort of gets a spot on the show, even though he's not necessarily the greatest wrestler, but his gimmick is he comes out with garden shears, like the big ones basically, and threatens to cut people's hair. So that's his gimmick.
I would not trust him anywhere near my head.
It's just such a, like, you get Brutus. Oh, it's a big badass name. The Barber. Huh? Beefcake. Yeah, exactly. He's like a Chippendales. He's basically a Chippendales dancer at this point. Like, I'm sure if he came out in like just the bow tie and no shirt, it's like, oh, is there a show going on? So this incident stems from one of the more popular tag teams at the time, the Rockers, who would say are a knockoff team of the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Rockers. I can't think. But basically, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Shawn Michaels. I swear, I was calling him George Michaels the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He looked like the singer.
It's basically, it was basically Wham.
Okay.
So the Rockers have been around for a little bit. They came from Minnesota. They eventually end up in WWE, and they are notorious partiers. Get drunk and do stupid shit to the point it kind of affects their careers, where things don't happen the way they're supposed to. So, but the bit is that everyone thinks Marty is supposed to be the star out of the group, and Shawn's just the sort of know nothing. And this is the point where Shawn gets to turn it around, change the narrative on that. So Brutus is asking the both of them, "Hey, what's going on? are you guys breaking up? And Sean goes, no, I'm the captain of this team. Why will we break up? Nothing's wrong. And Marty gets very upset and go, there's not supposed to be a captain.
Whoa. Who made you the captain of this team?
Yeah, we never made anybody the captain. But then they start going through it, and it's like Marty's like, Sean, you haven't been paying attention. We've lost matches because of you. And Sean's like, well, I lost my match with Ric Flair because of you. And
Have you wrestled Ric Flair? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you gotten that up, which is funny, is because Shawn Michaels wrestles Ric Flair in his retirement match.
Oh, okay.
His first retirement match. Ric Flair's had multiple at this point. And is still hopes to wrestle. He's had a stroke. Not had a stroke. He's had a massive injury. Maybe he had a stroke. I can't remember what it was. But he basically is in a coma for a month. Comes back and still wrestles a match in his 70s. It was not good.
Welcome to geriatric wrestling. Here we go. Get your walkers out.
But no, Ric Flair was considered old at this point. This is 1992.
Oh man.
So eventually, Marty's like, take it or leave it. I'm going to turn my back. And if you want to walk away, walk away. And so Marty turns his back and we're like, oh no, Sean, who's clad all in black. So it has to be insinuating something, right, Brian?
That's right. Anybody dressed in black is the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. No shirt though. It was too hot in there.
Too hot. But he had a jacket.
Yeah, and he had that very long hoop, like that it was a cowboy boot because he's from Texas. So he has that very long cowboy boot earring that's just hanging off one ear with that glorious mullet. He just keeps kind of flopping in the wind. Definitely uses conditioner.
Oh yeah.
So he
not 2-in-1, not 2-in-1 either. He has a separate shampoo and a separate conditioner.
Yes. So Marty turns around, Sean turns him the other way, and he's like, oh no, are they going to fight? And the announcer's like, oh, they need each other. And Bobby the Brain Heenan's like, I knew it. Like, they need each other. And,
go to him. You need each other.
Exactly. And eventually Sean hugs him, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake is like, oh, the Rockers are back together. And Brutus just runs out. I don't know why. He just immediately leaves. And Sean raises Marty's hand and like, oh yeah, Marty turns. Sean sort of looks at him, turns, and then super kicks him right in the face. And then
Yes,
Bobby the Brain Heenan the whole time has been going, oh yeah, I knew they were going to get back together. Sean hits Marty, and the first thing Bobby goes is, oh, I knew he was going to do that. So, and then the famous moment where Marty is picked up by Sean by the hair, and Sean throws Marty face first through the barbershop window, thus naming it the Barbershop Window incident. And again, one of my favorite lines is Bobby the Brain Heenan going, oh, he tried to escape.
Yeah, he tried jumping out that window.
Yeah, it's just, and then Gorilla just out of nowhere goes, "Are you blind?" It's just such a good. It adds such comedy to the moment, but it's such a visceral moment because like you talk about anybody that's watching wrestling at this time and they remember this incident of like watching it as a kid and going, "Oh my," because you could hear kids sort of screaming in the background and stuff like that. Like,
and they had that one lady. They showed that one lady where she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this."
Yeah, I know. So like they're the sort of the teen heartthrobs too. And
poor girl.
Yeah, exactly. They had a fantastic shot where they somehow knew to have a camera set up on the other side of that window. On the
outside of that window, yep. How did they know?
They show it from the opposite. So when we see it, Marty is being thrown away from the camera. From this angle, Marty gets thrown towards the camera. It's a very good moment. Marty gets busted open, and this is sort of Shawn Michaels' coming out party of like he becomes a heel after he becomes known as the Heartbreak Kid, the boy toy, this Playgirl, which he eventually does pose for Playgirl at some point when he becomes WWF champion. But like he's eventually going to go on a run where he's one of the best wrestlers in the business and is probably considered one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, we got to see tag teams put in the work, and then we got to see a tag team dissolve.
That's right.
What did you think of the Barbershop Window incident, Brian?
I thought it was kind of cheesy. The whole setup and stuff, you know what I mean? But like, hey, that would have been a huge surprise for everybody who didn't know it was coming. A breakup of a pair is always a big deal.
So I'm sure we'll watch more of these. So like the ones I can think of, in the Snake Pit, Jake the Snake.
And we watched Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. They kind of had a blow up when
so that was match, right? That was in Piper's Pit. Piper's Pit
was like a thing.
Yeah, so Piper's Pit, it's really known for Roddy smashes Jimmy Superfly Snuka, who's Samoan. I want to say, but he smashes a coconut over his head.
Okay. That's intense.
In the snake pit, Jake the Snake scares the shit out of Andre the Giant with a snake. I'm sure there's other ones, but there's usually some defining moment from one of these bits where something usually scary or stupid happens, where it's kind of cheesy, but it like sets something up. So yeah, did this feel momentous when you were watching it? It's sort of like when you're watching something without any context of knowing who these people are, who he eventually will become. Does it feel
momentous?
Did you feel like you had watched something happen?
I don't think I would have if you hadn't have called it the Barbershop Window incident.
Yes, I in my brain I'm like, oh, I wonder if he thinks something like either funny or something's going to get messed up. No, so okay, well then, all right. So that'll do it for our wrestling adjacent segment. That was the Barbershop Window. All right, so we ran a little long talking about our little chit chat in the beginning of the show, talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza and Death Stranding 2, all wrestling adjacent things. But we're actually going to wrap it up without any Who's That Wrestler. We'll bring it back for our next show. But thank you for joining us, Brian. Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up? Make sure if you're ever double teaming somebody, do it with your brother.
Exactly. What, Eskimo Brothers? Is that what they call it from the league? Do you know what that is? Eskimo Brothers. Do you know what Eskimo Brothers are, Brian?
I know what Eskimo Brothers are.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, great, fantastic. That is
you got the EBDB from the league.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. From the stories I have not told you, I'm sure you'd be surprised at how many tag teams are probably Eskimo Brothers without even knowing it.
Oh no!
Exactly. Yeah, that'll wrap up the show. Again, you can find us on all forms of social media. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are on Blue Sky. We actually just got a TikTok. I gave in because. We
got TikTok? I don't have TikTok. I'm too old for TikTok. How do we get TikTok?
I know. I post on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but that is our TikTok. So
all right.
I'll be posting our stuff on TikTok. I tried to post David Lynch, Books of the Territory, which was the most frustrating thing I've ever done on YouTube because the segment has a bit of music in it that's technically copyrighted. It didn't get flagged for our full episode, but when I maybe it's because I raised the volume just a tad in the short, it flagged it and wouldn't post it. Or no, it said I could post it, but it had to be, I wanted to post the full segment. It needed to be posted under a minute. And I'm like, what kind of is this? So I'm trying to figure all that out. So yeah, we are on TikTok. You can also, again, you can find this show, the video on YouTube, the video of this episode on YouTube at Wrestling Without Context. Subscribe to the show, leave us a comment. We'll give you a nice little shout out. And again, we also have a Patreon now. Please sign up on Patreon at Wrestling Without Context for only the small price of $1. So for less than I'm going to find something each week, less than a candy bar. This week, because you got them $1.99 candy bars out there. You get it for less than us, or you get not less than us.
Yeah, you get it less than us. We're not even worth a candy bar.
Yeah, I know. No, you're worth. We're actors.
No, you're worth, and we are not worth one candy bar.
I mean, who are we kidding, Brian? We've done shows for $45 a pop for 3 months of work.
We have done work for free.
Yeah, I know exactly. We technically went into debt with college. We're still building towards that. So again, please come have some fun on Patreon. I'm going to be adding some stuff. Maybe I'll be doing a weekly show by myself. I don't want to cut you out, Brian, but
there's too much wrestling for me. Too much.
Exactly.
I can't do 14 hours a week.
Yeah, so that'll just about do it. So again, please follow us on all forms of social media. Please join us for our episode next time, where we will be attending the party of the summer, Brian. We will be taking a trip to SummerSlam. Yes, we are going to be watching another match from, I'm pretty sure it's 2022, SummerSlam 2022. We'll be watching Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match.
Brock
So-
Lesnar. That's a dude. We'll talk
Yes.
about it next time, I'm sure. I've
Yes,
heard that name before.
Yes. So please join us for our next episode. Join us on YouTube as well. Join us on Spotify. Join us wherever you find your podcast, and we will see you next time.
Brian doesn't know about suplex slams. He thinks a wrist lock is a boy band. Can't tell a moonsault from a flying knee. He's clueless about the ring's legacy. He called a steel cage a fancy shed. Said lucha masks are hats for your head. He thinks the Undertaker's just a grave guy. This poor dude's living a wrestling lie. Brian doesn't know the ropes or the show. Tag teams and belts are all Greek to his soul. Every finisher he calls a weak spin move. Brian doesn't know he's got nothing to prove. Missed WrestleMania 4 and in class. Confused a pile driver with a chair to crash. He thought kayfabe was a type of pie. Stop pretending, kid, we all sigh.